second, I thought that it was even Jettish. Like, what is
Nukia,
going on?
Nukia
Last year,
Cypher.
Krax was the KO
Sky
professional,
Breach.
the specialist
Okay,
on
sure.
the agent, and now we're seeing him
Sky
explore, you know, new
Chamber.
horizons. Apparently, the race is going to be the next one. Now,
I will say just quickly, Krax has played a bit of Raze before, and
Krax
statistically,
Raze?
it's alright. It's pretty good. So
That took me a while to look at. I was just looking at
yeah,
the
but
chamber for a while.
The other
Okay.
thing that I also remember was seeing it on the chamber back in the Ascent days. I
They're
remember
really,
him not being specifically
they're really
comfortable,
trying a
but
lot
hey,
of different
new
stuff.
year, new CNET, everything is new to him. Maybe we'll get to see him play Jet one of these days, but very special.
Well, I can't wait to see what they've got cooked up over here and send this into game with your casters. It's Pansy and Ash.
Okay, no combination name.
Krax
there,
not
so
playing
we're
KO? Yeah.
switching things up, but yeah, let's kind of, I guess, take stock here.
Hasn't
because
been going
this has kind
well
of
for them,
subverted my
but-
expectations, seeing that agent select come in. But I want your thoughts, Ash. Has this changed your mind now, seeing this comp come out?
I was already concerned when I think we saw that map, Vito.
Okay.
Last year, 4 foot. Split was a difficult map for them. They went 1-4, and now
Okay,
seeing
FUT on
the shift
defense,
onto the
Giants
chamber
on
here for
attack.
CNET.
Let me just
Historically,
quickly...
he hasn't been great on this agent, but we've seen him innovating. He's tested out a couple other duelists. I guess after his
Sure, I
temp
kinda-
with Angel,
kinda in for
he's
both of
more
these.
open to these new horizons.
I just
Flash goes
need,
out
you know,
over
the
towards B.
run it back from
Deep
CNET,
B
really.
does
I
hit
need
a
him to
few.
find a little bit
They
of
don't
that
know the
fire he
numbers.
wants. And I think a
Smoke
lot
on
of us are
middle,
like
instant
that, right? It's like you
reaction.
see all that
FUT wanting
potential,
to punish
that
middle
sleeping
early.
giant when it comes to that
And
man, but
Giants
maybe this
just
is the
wanting
spark
to
that
send it
will
into B.
ignite the rest of the season, or potentially be a very short elimination group. Now, as it
That's
stands, though,
pretty
this
strong.
Junior will be FUT on the defending
Yeah.
side. Of course, that means that Giantx are on the attack. So we're gonna have to wait and see how this one fares. But I already like this approach from FUT, taking some of that mid space.
Chat, you can jump
A
this
lot of
trip, right?
information found now. And you can
Will they
see
find it?
TJ's falling completely
Can you
off
jump
that
this
B
trip?
site. They're looking to pressure initially off the
Maybe
plants
not.
here, just waiting
Yeah,
for
you
the
could.
timing.
You
See if
could.
they can maybe cheeky
The tech
hop
there?
up and over.
Lovely.
It
Whoa, how
works.
many people are going for this?
Okay.
Spike planted.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
A little style to that one too.
They all three
But
did
by
it.
now, surely the
Red
alarm
guard
bells
jump
will start
spot,
to ring,
sees-
though, because they felt no pressure,
Yeah, sees
right?
one.
Giantx just walked to the site, got the plant. They're like, I'm sure there's meant to
They got to
be
take some map control. They send it over
somewhere.
towards spawn. Spawn
That
does get
first
smoked
real
off though,
part
so
of
less
contact
people
is
on
coming
site.
towards heaven, but you can see that 3-play crunch now coming through. Paranoia got sent. Dogs out and about, but Cloud first and foremost going to get one, but CNET on the trade back out. We're down to 2. CNET and Mr. Falling going to have to put up some work.
Nicely done. Honestly, shout out to Red Guy here. He did great work.
Did they in the end? Giantx off to a great start.
No, I think that rotation coming from the A side a little bit too late there for FUT.
Also,
The
the
idea,
call,
though,
so
was there.
there were some
We
good
saw
calls
the
that
mid
came in.
clear.
The call was to
Lives very
insta-react
little
once they lost B
options
main
as
and
far
take
as that
spawn,
raid goes,
and then they
but
got smoked
I
off
just don't
spawn,
think they were
and then most of
necessarily
them were
quick enough
dueling
to
over
try and
towards the
get
site,
out
and the
of that
Cypher was
key
just going for the
choke.
luck to secure
Stalled
it
out in that kind of sense.
for
Now
the
looking into
afterplant
next
heaven.
round here. See a little
So
bit of that FPX buy coming
yeah,
out with the
I
two
like the kind
rifles
of
on
mid running
side
from
of
Giants there. The
Giantx.
instant decision making was decent.
And for FUT,
2
going a lot more
rifles, the old
defaulty into- there you
FPX. Yeah,
And
so
I think the deaths
they're allowed 2
kind of
deaths.
touched on it a little bit, especially Josh when he was talking about kind of FUT's defensive side being a bit of an issue. So I want to see how that looks, at least at eye test. I mean, it's such a limited amount of tape that we've been able to see of these, newer teams coming back out, or even, remade old teams. So it's very hard to kind of get that full grasp on what
At the
they're going
jump,
to look like. when really
too
all
far
we've seen
away,
is
I
one
think.
game from
More
both
just
sides.
scared
So
of like this.
we'll see if that continues to plague them. If
Right.
there's further problems on the defending side, especially here on
Especially on a
Sprint as
pistol, people
starter.
do mad
If
stuff on
anything, you
pistol.
do
You're
have
gonna be
good
more
tape
aware.
on Giantx, so you should hope that they've got a good plan in mind. For now, Giantx just kind of going through the steps, going through the traditional approach. You're looking to try and maybe feel out if there's that stack in play.
4
We can
bullets
see
on the
where it
chamber.
is. They
We
can't,
push
so
over
they manage to
towards A.
navigate around it.
Always timing here
Giants
for
picked the
to
right
actually walk
site,
off and in towards
and
CT. Just
chance for
play
Cloud
that life, but it won't be that
to get a
full
plant,
flank
and
coming
then
in for
maybe
FUT this time
he's
around.
allowed
Giantx,
some
of
freedom
course,
to farm these
a free site
ecos.
for the taking. Looking to what they have to work with here on this retake. Mr. Fallen doesn't have any utility, so that Sky, not something we can rely on here.
Now, I want to see if Cloud can farm up a little bit as well, considering he had some good progress already towards his ult. I wonder if he's going to get any more going. Okay, Mr. Fallen, fair enough. Hoodie's gone down. Any more where that came from? Looks like CT's the next avenue of approach, at least for the vast majority of FUT.
All the backstabs incoming though towards mid.
Yeah, it does have a time limit on this. Again, there we go. That's going to be Nuki farming this one up. Should be pretty comfy. Cloud is one of the names on the kill feed, so that's the one you got to keep your eyes on, because that ult will be knocking on the door, and it's a pretty critical one at this point. There's last man alive. Not going to have too many
Yeah, it wants to
options
die
here.
in this one.
Potentially just want to avoid giving away too many of those orbs.
Cloud. Player to watch from yesterday, from day one as well. He was the saving grace for Giantx. One of the reasons why those maps were so close in their last matchup.
Yeah, lovely ping on that.
And the thing is, I think for this Giantx team too, while FUT had the expectation of being a team that did so well last year, being that kind of dark horse that rose through the season, Giantx, they retained 4 of their players. So all eyes are also on Redgar in this situation to see the leader that he can be to elevate this middle of the pack team from 2023.
That's spot on.
Fast,
hold
big
on his
buy
play. You
rounds,
can see
and
the
they
burst
insta-hit
already
A
coming
site.
towards
That's a
him. He wants to close
lovely
that gap as
Omen
best he
flash,
can.
but that's a good
He'll
Omen
allow
flash
for a
in
second
return
player
as
to
well
pick up, but he's
from
now
Redgar.
isolated. He's on his own. He's actually done very well. No punish from CNED. He only got a touch of damage. And a captain's the one to finally strike back. Levy some of this pressure. CNED makes his presence known. 2 big pickups and he stops the rot. Giantx can't make it to site now.
It was a nice site hold. The Omens did really good. Both the flashes were like fully on point.
Still takes this A main control, split up here on the side of Giantx.
If Cloud's standing, there's still a chance. Don't write this man out, even in a scenario like this. CNED on red alert, though, being very cautious about it, playing a little bit of a deeper angle. They're going to pause for a second here, heal up, get themselves as best they can ready for this fight. Cloud still has a little bit of kit to play with. Creeping close, that's fantastic work from FUT. Held at the door.
Very nicely done.
Away. Great response. 3
2
rifles
people
remaining.
died,
They'll be
so
happy with that.
swing round.
Clean round there from
Come on.
FUT and CNED, the one to stop that push there towards A main, the drop down into plant, and to find 2 was everything to find the advantage. Now, anti-eco here for both teams. That was the
CNED
bonus
sent it.
round of Giantx. And looking towards the ult economy right now, not too close to anything just yet, but again, Cloud 3 away from the Rolling Thunder. They're posturing towards B main, a much more
2,
comfortable orb
5
here
people that can't buy
for the
next.
attackers.
Flash goes over towards B, it hits someone, one way over towards B main, and
Love that.
with the
Didn't work out very well. Coutinho body checks him.
Yeah, they were
instantly, didn't
ready
get
for
to TP
this.
back, and
Bit of chamber
I don't mind if
aggression.
CNED wants to try and be more aggressive and try and get in their faces, but not particularly supported in that fact. And it looks like Giantx putting a high priority on at least challenging and late controlling towards middle.
Yeah, you would expect maybe to be paired up with Mr. Fallen in that kind of situation.
Skydog clears over towards B.
Rotation and defense, there's 2. And Giantx, they're playing so patiently towards mid.
Afraid to let the clock tick down a little bit here. Further contact made, so FUT knows there's still
This is nicely
presence.
timed. No spam here as well,
rotation.
suggests there aren't multiple numbers
Nobody's
behind.
home on the B site here for FUT. Giantx, they're pivoting over towards B main here as well. It's all going to be up to Yetj to spot the cross onto site. A little bit of a jiggle action. Opportunity with a stake bite to try and divvy up the team here as well.
This is going to be so difficult, though. I think they have to basically give this up. Yeah, there's no
Keep
chance
an eye on
they
the
can
luck.
challenge here. And now you
Yeah,
look at this
because
late
Nuki
look.
heard a
This is
lot
something we
here,
were talking about, his
and
timing and his
Atta
capability
realized
in it.
that was
Nuki
nice,
not
baited
quite
the
able to
steps.
stick the landing, so they've actually been able to
Yeah,
keep
Nuki
this back
fell
up
for
to a
that-
4 apiece.
for the
Once they
steps
come
that he
in,
had
do
in
they
heaven.
start early, or do they wait for this to go down? Looks like they're going to have to wait a second or 2, but the pressure now starting to mount. Starting to work their way through from CT. Atta captain, taking a couple of steps towards the site. It's down towards Cloud and Hoodie once again. This time a 2v3.
No
They
util.
complement
Cloud
his
gets a
positions
kill, he
together,
gets ult.
create
He's
a
not going to feel
crossfire.
comfy to use it.
Cloud wants in and he doesn't get what he wants. Atta captain holding strong
Atta,
here.
smoke the spike.
As Hoodie last alive and a very tricky situation in front of him. Near on unfeasible at this point. Hoodie trying and failing.
Nice.
It's gonna be
All
FUT
3
answering
dueling as
back
well.
again.
And
Perfect
Mr.
work
Fallon
there
can
on
get
the
another
playback.
orb, and
Very
Atta did
comfortable here for
fantastic here,
FUT. The
especially the bait over
coordination
towards middle. That was very nice.
immense in that situation. Now, heading into the next round, economy not looking great here for Giantx, expecting a semi-eco to come through. There is still the Rolling Thunder that has cycled up here, though, for Cloud. And honestly, I feel like in these eco rounds, earlier this week, we saw Cloud getting 2 pieces, 3 Ks.
Yeah.
That opportunity to still turn the tide for Giantx.
Outlaw could definitely
Looks like
farm
they're
this.
leaning more towards
Where
this
is...
death
Okay, I mean,
ball
they're going to
here
the chamber.
towards A, and CNED
Off angle at
made that
heaven.
first point of contact likely
Do we all
early
go
this
site, though?
Well, let's see if he's on the
Oh,
money
I say
now.
off angle on
A little bit
heaven.
of an uncomfortable start in the last. Outlaw out and about. Gonna dip away, but again, they've had to give up the site here. Not worth the risk, it seems like.
This
which
is
great for
looking...
Giantx. I'll take
This
every
is
day of the
looking
week.
alright.
Looks like a
Everyone
safer
over
farm
towards
option,
site,
yes. Rather than going for heaven, we saw a
Got
couple
a
of
breach
issues
short.
forward, some very unfavorable
Oh,
situations. That's just
what?
unfortunate, it feels. Coutinho falls blind through the wall. But they've got the plant. Can they cause any mayhem here?
I mean, there is a Rolling Thunder to look towards here into the post plant.
Whether or not you commit to it, though, that's the next question. Is it even worth the try? It's losing Redgar. It's making it feel less
Good
and less
util.
viable.
Mr.
Wow,
Fallon
Nuki
is...
trying to do something. Nuki, oh!
Oh my.
Nuki almost rolled
Sick
it
damage
back
from
there.
him, and they get a
EDJ's
plan
up
as well.
the case, and the defuse going to come through. It's not as clean as they'd like, but they'll take it. It's a round posted on the board. It looks like they want to try and get CNED on that ult as well, so he'll be taking the rest of the defuse. But FUT managing the storm again there. You saw the danger, though. This is when we're starting to see these two teams heat up a little bit.
Yeah, the pacing changing as this half goes on. I cannot get over these shots that Nuki was able to isolate, though. The micro play and isolating those 1v1s. So much more than you would expect to come out from them there. But now, again,
Whoa.
Rolling Thunder wasn't meant to be used into the last round. No opportunity for it there into the post plant for Giantx, so we're looking towards it into their anti-eco now.
There's a rewind of the replay machine and the audio is still live.
Too great of an economy. So every round, extremely tight.
You're not hearing
Some
voices.
Earlier mid control coming up from Giantx.
Oh, I get nervous. I get a little nervous. Okay, that's fine. Almost played in CNED, who does have the operators. That's going to be heard. That's going to be... you could probably hazard a guess, considering the purchase. The economy was in play for it. Not all too surprising, but...
I have
one
no
thing
idea
over
if
here
that
is
flash
Fallon's
hit
ability
B
to
main.
play these lurks,
It doesn't
his
look
late
like
round
it.
presence. Because again, we saw the potential mechanically, right? This guy is nuts. There's a reason that we always go, God, but only if he was on that raise.
Skydog goes all the
always
way
that,
out.
and the timings
And
were
that sees the
something that we
Omen.
noted in the previous games, especially on this match. So I want to
With
see
that, an
Nuki in full
insta
form.
reaction to go clear
Looks like
over
Krax was
towards
willing to
A.
try and
It's
clear
kind of
that.
nice.
But again,
Trying
this is all
to, basically the
attention to
50
outside.
second
He's done
mark,
very
they're just
well
trying to
with
work
all
out what
his
site
eyes.
they're
Thinking
going.
three players
UTJ, that is sick with the smoke up to block vision. The smoke that he picked up earlier once he left middle, replaces it towards heaven. Is a lovely
I mean,
reaction.
it was an incredible snake bite to delay here in towards heaven. The operator taken out here for CNED as well. And Giantx still holding on, denying the push from Giantx. Despite sight free for the taking here for Giantx. At the very least, retake protocol here for FUT.
Yeah, waiting for those smokes towards CT just to ensure safety on the cross. Beautiful from Nuki. Bodyguard duty, holding them back. Does dip slightly deeper towards the backside of Rafters, allowing Giantx a step towards the site. This is an option, this is an opportunity, but
Devastating for him. What a lovely stun.
Way earlier than that, but now just down to
Oh my.
There comes the ult, and actually no player goes down.
Okay, yeah, tried to satchel out of there. Didn't really hit the mark. Lovely stun from Cloud over towards B main there.
Great swing coming out from Redgar to clean
I think the
that
other
up
guy
as
gets
well,
two
but
with the silent drop down.
wow, FUT. Giantx, the fact that that poison orb meant so much there towards B heaven. But Nuki, really the player to watch right now on Giantx. Yeah, that's got to be a rough. You expect the showstopper to find one in that situation, but Giantx, they find success into
Wait,
that
was he the
round,
guy
but
that got
also
stunned?
save all those ults that we were looking towards here. 4 to work with.
Was after the
It's
guy
round
that got
number 7.
stunned. That looks like the reaction of someone that got stunned.
We
got so many replays in there, by the way.
Because Fatino's actually already trying to take all of this space. Heaven left wide open.
Omen flash misses the
Paranoid
mark.
Ascent, which does give away
Reach
the
all
fact that they
over
are in
towards
B main.
B
TP
main.
as well,
Does
though.
hit the
Captain
raise.
actually
Omen
made him
TPs
a position
to
they don't expect. Great
not
trades
get the
for
kill.
Fun here, holding them back. All of that confidence from Heaven gets shattered. Left to dirt as they're down to 3 and split in position. Uncomfortable for the cross.
It was
two.
UTJ? Oh, okay.
Punish on this one. Not as easy this time for Cloud to make it over. So he decided to go for this plant instead. So this is feeling very claustrophobic.
It's a very awkward plant spot. Not really be able to spot it out here from Heaven, but this push down from Nuki.
I see down win out their individual 1v1s.
Show us some
Hoodie
magic,
has
Hoodie.
one flash.
1v4.
They are everywhere.
Players on all fronts. Oh, there's not much you
Yeah,
can do
that's
there.
a
Krax gonna
nightmare.
put it to his grave.
Nightmare position.
I've gotta say,
Giants won the
we're
round
talking about,
before,
Nuki doing well on
1-9
one
loss
side,
bonus.
that's,
This
I'll
guy
park that for a
and
second.
this guy can't
Giantx
buy.
being such a
The
little
other
hero
three can
for
get a
this
pretty
team.
good low buy.
So much value from his work again. And I love that little TP back from Ada Captain as well, kind of subverting expectation, putting another body towards the backside of Pillar. CNED punishing on the site as well. Again, in my mind, Giantx is doing really well this map.
No, he's been an incredible anchor here for FUT. Just be able to buy the time for the rest of the team to make that rotation over. And Giantx, I feel like on that execution, the timing was just a smidge off there. The Seekers had already pushed FUT back off the site. The Rolling Thunder, if expended, should have been right off the back of that to assist in that showstopper. Now, tank empty. No, it's the outlaw for CNED once again. Seems like that's the move that FUT are going towards for that economy.
I said 3 of them
management
could
to
get
cycle that operator up.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of some better guns, but they kind of just accept this.
In a very good position if they can keep control of this again.
Just
Look at
happy
the
with
armor on outside, it's light purchases, if anything at all.
just
so
happy with the
very well for them. But it's been a
Sheriff
little,
armor.
no, I don't want to say hit and miss.
Flash goes over towards
Flash
B
did
main.
confirm attendance, but they don't know it's
They
not
at least
just
did
Nookie, but
pressure over
they'll probably
towards
figure
here
it
with the
out
Lark
pretty soon,
smoke out
considering the
towards
dog's
B.
been
That keeps
let
3
off the
people
leash.
there for this.
CNED
This is
almost
actually a nice
chance
eco at the
here.
moment for
Off-angle
Giants,
position
but
to play with,
wait.
and didn't get it when he wanted.
Slightly to the
a
left
little
again, it
close,
felt
but
like.
Not quite on the money. So they take a step closer again. FUT
Look-
need to be
look
careful
pretty
not to
close,
get
but-
swarmed here. It's very possible.
It's only one that was spotted over towards ramps.
Kind of want to get a
Great
replay of
guiding
that
lights.
miss.
CNED, no
We saw the
CP
one in
available
heaven,
this
but
time around, stuck in towards
He's in
elbow.
trouble. I mean, yeah, he's absolutely dead to rights. He
Yeah,
got
what
put in a
the-
corner and he got put down. And now they're going to get a plant, and now they've got CT control. Yeah, I mean, it's an outlaw.
now
It's
they
not maybe
pick up
the
an
ideal
outlaw,
weapon,
and
but
there
you'll
is
take
one
what you're
person that
given
can get
here,
one
right?
popped.
Can they make something with this? Yeah, going to be sticking on the sheriff. it
Got
seems.
any breach
Busy
util?
playing on that corner, and a captain. A Turkish peek in place. Oh, beautiful. Handling all problems there. CT not a threat just yet, but the man of the moment, Nookie. That sheriff was lethal before. Might just be again. Plenty of potential targets. Cloud's done well. The timing not going to
Yeah,
be there.
and
FUT
it's
staying
nice
alive
timing
for
on the
2.
retake.
Not
Atter
as pretty
is
as you'd
doing
like, but they
work.
get across the line. And again, we said that defending side was their harder half. They're doing quite well here.
Giantx, though, on those thrifty rounds,
They're dangerous.
they are. They're making it really scrappy once they get that spike planted. But again, those retake protocols, 4 out of the 5 round wins that they've found have been
Coutinho,
off the success.
I think he knew
Playing a
heavy
little bit more
armor.
Together, not looking to get caught out into the early round. And now heading into this one, Giantx does have the Viper's Pit online. Current positioning doesn't really give any hint to that.
I'd be
being
using it all
used
day
early
there, I
on. Might
think,
see it
but
pop out of vents to just
there's a
completely
chance he
deny that
didn't
mid-control
realize, but
over to Giantx right off the gate.
they fired a lot of
The
shots.
other Jay and Cena are the ones
How's CNED's chamber
gonna have
been?
to handle a little
Hit or
bit.
miss?
Opting to invest it through middle, which might actually cause problems for Giantx's plans.
I like this though. It's kind of like the Viper Cypher,
but
but you put the trip in nice and
see
early.
if there's any further aggression behind
To just
it.
see if
Look at
anyone's
little
walked in, and then
players
obviously you
over
can
towards
spam
ramp.
behind it, especially if they get the
Pushing much further
blow.
than that, I can imagine. So this does put a little bit of a conundrum towards Giantx with what do they do with this now?
I mean, in the early round, FUT found so much space. The Viper's Pit in towards mid, like we can see with the trademark. Then you've also got the cycling of those one-ways over towards B main, where Giantx haven't actually poked their heads in to see if that space
The
has
trademark,
been
yeah, dude,
claimed.
this is
The
nice.
threat of the operator on CNED on
This
site
is nice.
as well.
Yeah, they're going to
Wait.
start getting restless. For the
Okay,
FUT
they're,
side. They've
they're
not had
indicating
information,
for
but
a
you can see
push
that's
just
why
in
the
case. Yeah, this
dog's
means
coming
that
out.
there's Viper,
He's gonna invest
because
his,
you
which
can't
is
see,
kind of
when you're
painting a
here, you
false
can't see full
picture,
vision of
false
someone
narrative,
crossing, so they just
just
want to
that
secure
one
that they
dog's
get
enough
full
to
info
put
from
them
the
out of
ult
position
middle.
here. You saw CNED lean away. You saw Mr. Fallen lean
They
off
just
this
don't want
side,
the
but we
timing
know
to
where they're
happen.
heading. It's gonna
Omen
be
Flash
towards
goes
B.
heaven,
A
and
missed
on site,
shot, but it
you gotta
plays
go
in. Mr.
huge.
Fallen.
Yeah, and that's probably
Very
this
well.
round.
Patino, fantastic.
They have an Omen
Sight
Flash
should
to
be theirs
flood
here.
in.
Redgar's waiting in case anyone decides to get proactive. Not going to work out. And actually, you're going to lose your life. for
Redgar
it.
loves that spot
A shot
recently.
in the dark
I
and
say
you're dead.
recently, last
CNED
2 days.
falls, and it's down to 3. With Giantx standing, there's a chance, but I mean,
We've
they
seen
don't
him
have
there
much of a
twice.
step here.
Having control at the very least. Trapwire broken. Great protocol with the paranoia coming through as well.
Wow, this is tough though. How do you clear out back site like this? They're trying to divide and conquer. You can see they're trying to slice up the site.
What?
That's one way to start it off, but they need more. They need a whole lot more.
Holy, the recovery.
Trying as hard as he could there. It's
The
not gonna
recovery,
be
I
enough to get across
was
the line. Giantx playing that very well.
pretty
and
worried
the
for a
smoke and
second there,
mirrors,
but
right? That little bit of utility coming out from
It's okay.
Hoodie pulled them away from the site. It pulled CNED off the site. It pulled Mr. Fallen away from the site. Maybe because it wasn't Nookie over there. Maybe that was enough. It was like, oh, there's something going on. This has got to be where it is. Pulled the rotation. Got Giantx around back.
They've been so diligent on the side of Giantx as well with their flash utility to ensure that CNED holding whichever angle will be forced to TP off. We're going to see the timeout to be called now here for, I believe it's on the side of FUT. And I mean, has to be expected, right? Look at this economy situation. It's looking dire. You do have that op that might be forced up. into the next round. We'll have to see how things do end up going there, Pansy.
Yeah, potentially Gabri. I would make that argument.
Apologist. I always will be.
I don't know if it's like because of the choke point being smaller, so it doesn't have the vision loss. Right, I don't know, in the middle. So, how can I draw this? If we get back into map, I'll try to draw something.
Please. But for now, I don't
it might work a little bit like Icebox Alarm Bot. You know when you put the Icebox Alarm Bot into middle, but it has a Viper smoke around it and you can walk by? It might be a little bit like that.
As coming into this round, I mean, there's not much else to report. Yeah, there's a
and it's like a smaller choke point where you know they're going to walk past it. Because otherwise I feel like they would have tried it over towards middle. Right, because you have to go through like this. I guess you always have to cross this choke point. Like here and here.
So they're starting to cycle through towards some nicer.
I mean, honestly, I think you're right. I think you can just do it top.
For FUT, they've got to weather this. They've got to handle
this. I don't know
this
for sure.
Pressure change, a pace change. It looks like A is on a platter here.
Raptors positioning for cracks has to reposition.
Do I like Cypher or Chamber on this map? Nah, Cypher. I think Cypher's better.
Initial heavy utility usage towards ramps there for Giantx, but no commitment thus far. Nice dodge.
Problem with Chamber is on attack, and you can do a pretty cool TP in this corner where you can like take this jewel over towards heaven, and like that's really nice, and that's a lovely shot, by the way.
Okay, that takes away, right? This kind of narrows in the opportunities, but look who's on the site. Out of captain this time. Managed to make it away from What? Fatinho seems so confused. I thought he might have checked that. But now we're in troubling territory, because look at the weapons. Out of captain's got a rifle. So does CNET. And out of captain's prowling.
Big 1v2.
Cloud and look for the follow-up. CNET just gets himself on the side. Makes Hoodie reveal this position. And now a 1v2. Can he position this well enough? Can Hoodie somehow slice through both of them? I don't know. The spike is not to hand, and it's a rough position to make it from. CNET trying to clear through. They've got to be working out this timing internally, but Hoodie creeping back around, going to see the barrel, but can he take down out of captain? That's the first fight. He waits for the response. He's not getting
Still
what
20
he
seconds.
Wants. Just teasing him now. Oh,
okay, nicely handled, yeah. Big rounds. Opening pick by CNET, and then honestly, it's still kind of lost over towards site, 4v4.
Dark cover on site, just allowing out of captain to work his way around, isolate those one.
Yeah, Fury did that a lot.
Backstab, and a lot of that was opened up also by canceling out that mid flank, that lurk coming out from Redgar with CNET's push to come through. 2 rounds left into the half. Giantx, they've got still that rolling thunder to work with. I mean, Cloud's been holding on to that for quite a while.
They have almost a full snowball round in
Flash
hand,
deep
right?
over towards B main, doesn't hit anyone. You can have a heavy rotate, especially with the trip over towards here at top of B. And this is an interesting decision, because honestly, they could have.
Yeah,
they're all rotating.
We haven't seen this being a high priority, it felt like, but all the rotations are in.
Everyone is here. Lovely Omen Flash. Lovely Omen Flash to hit the breach in heaven as well.
And yet a J's on the case, but here they are ready, and out of captain still not feeling the full pressure yet. He even gets away with his life. But he couldn't close down with just the SMG.
Wait, Redgar was with them all.
Redgar a million miles away.
Out of there?
No spike and very little hope.
No, I mean,
I thought I saw him on the minimap with them.
Long time to try and save this rifle into the next round as well, because that hero rifle could make.
I'm telling you, Atta, by the way, is incredible at the moment.
But the protocoling coming out from FUT, I mean, Atta captain alone with the paranoia shut down.
Yeah, his Omen flashes. He's either getting a sick Omen flash to allow them kills, or he's just getting multi kills.
Since the first couple of rounds of this game, I mean, they've been really good as far as ensuring that they're finding those 1-2 swings. Okay, and that spike look, yeah, there's nothing you're doing there.
So again, in my mind though, I guess the flowers for the last couple of rounds. One, yes, Jay at the start, got to say, for a player who's a little newer to my eyes, he has been outstanding.
I mean, yeah, he definitely Omen ulted. I just didn't see.
At a captain, the guy
didn't see where to be honest.
Monster to try and deal with, always so present. They're going to try and hunt down Redgar. If they're even going to be able to close the gap in time, no. So he should be somewhat safe here.
This, I don't know. I don't know. We get a jewel here.
Because, I mean, that was meant to be the round, right? That was the heavy investment.
I'm pretty sure that was close.
Eventually get checked on, but it's fine. He's kept the rifle moving forward, so that's still in the hands of Giantx. Don't worry. They have to just try and force up around it, right? Like, what can they get, though? Financially, they're somewhat near ruins. Fatinho, I think, is one away from having his ult, so that could be something to look towards, but beyond that, I thought last round was meant to be the one to really make it count.
I mean, FUT have been really good at isolating those ultimate orbs as well, even though they're not necessarily farming them themselves. Just the extremity control to deny that opportunity to Giantx has been pretty comfortable, again, with the very deep smokes towards B main.
A little bit of a missed flash, but they go ahead with it anyway. Flash over towards here, spots no one over towards long A. They can keep this stack towards B.
But the trademark to go down here for CNED. Stalled out, just biding a bit of that time. And knowing that they're on
you would think that Hoodie heard the trip getting placed, but you never know if someone's calling at the same time it went down. Omen Flash looks good to get everyone again.
2 players. Very ready for this. On the man on the screen, cracks. Full kit and utility.
Yep.
Get to invest out the paranoia, perfect.
Oh, that was a great flashback from Cloud.
Keep their lives, slow the roll, keep them arm's length here. Seeker's gonna come through out of captain and cracks in perfect unison.
2. Dog kill. Dude, how did he get 2 there? Dog kill as well.
Just biting through Cloud as Redguard once again just gonna be left to rot out here, right? What else are you meant to do? He's got
deja vu from the round before.
Maybe he can pull off the most, miraculous clutch of his
life. What you going for here?
It's due. FUT have stabilized, and they've looked fantastic off those early couple of rounds.
I think too, for Giantx, they've been investing so many resources into those early engagements once they do decide to finally take some of that space on the map. But FUT, ever since they've livened up a little bit, being able to shut that down, hasn't even given Redguard that true opportunity to find those lurks, find those timings. And again, leaving him on an island, like we had mentioned. But now we're swapping sides here.
That dog.
Ooh, no, that's a nail in the coffin, I think.
That's rough.
They're vibing. They're sweet, chilling.
I mean, and if we're going to talk bigger picture for this, let's roll our minds back to what the desk was talking about. I don't think they kind of defined it as win conditions, but they certainly noted
if you're
your
Giants here, you're actually feeling pretty fine.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I'm not too worried. The chamber can be a bit of a nightmare on attack in terms of making it have impact. It's a lot easier if FUT win pistol, so they can get ops out, etc. And that is a nice strat.
From Hoodie. Oh, the crunch though, and a captain have fallen right back there. Just the bloodbath in middle.
Okay, managed to be a 3-on-3. Dude, the amount of aggro pistols on defense at the moment, or pretty much every pistol we've seen has been focused around something. Whether it's like a mid, whether it's like waiting for them to get close or mid and just wrecking them in terms of a trap play, or just pushing down one of these areas. Pretty much every pistol that I've watched.
If he died then, if he went down, that's the spike.
It's a 3v5, they were pretty committed though. Redguard to somehow do it with a classic. It's shots, dude. Yeah, and he's going to get a plant. It's halfway to an ult already. Not a good plant, so Nukia has a chance.
Okay. 1v2. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Nuki.
Yeah, and UTJ was going to go B main, but then he realizes it's not the right plant, so they stick together. And Nukia must be like, what the hell are they doing? Looks weird from his POV.
For Mr. Fallen as well, off the back of those picks, off the back of getting that spike planted as well. Already halfway charged up into the Seekers so early into the second half. That pistol round was pivotal for Giantx to try and find themselves back into split. We have to remember, this is Giantx's map pick here.
Yep. And on the horizon is Icebox, and then you could be walking into CNED in prime, right? Like that's...
Yeah.
Now, whether it happens, I feel like I'm just in like fan mentality or I'm just talking nonsense. But like, the prospect is fun. Now, we've got a little pinch set.
They watched the... Do you know what? Literally, I mean, they may have had this before, but that was very similar to the Sentinel's trap play on A Heaven. Very similar.
Redguard's positioning.
I feel like because the Omen wasn't involved, I want to say it's different, but it was very similar to it.
Out now, though.
Either way, it's a nice play, though.
Captain's going to be careful to not lose that Bulldog as well. Yeah, he's going to make a really quick run for it. Doesn't want to get caught there, and you've already got Cena kind of backfilling that position as well, making sure they're not chasing through Heaven, which actually is very indicative. It's going to be through CT. Smoke going to be invested. And it's just going to be very tough for Giantx to make any more value out of it. So potentially going down to the spike to try and deny any of that further progress. I mean, Mr. Fallen, chase if you fancy it. Try and get in.
Both of these can. Both of these can go for it.
Already. Why not get a
Just going to wait for the spike to go lower.
Anything could go wrong.
Definitely Mr. Fallon should be going for this one at the very least. Even a death is worth here.
I might as well. Might as well charge it up.
Redgar's softened up. That's perfect. Okay, 2 away. This man's closing in.
Yeah, huge.
Might make much more of it, but
Okay, huge as well. Yeah, and they're the guns that they could lose into it. Obviously, they'll have the other gun over towards Heaven, but...
And he will go down to the spike here, trying to keep that ultimate economy in the best place possible, but Ash, we got to say it, it's already 10 rounds for FUT. I mean, bigger picture, that first cycle could be a snowball round, so, I mean, Mr. Fallen's one off.
That's the thing, one off, you have opportunity to find that orb, or even just a pick here towards B main, depending on how things do end up swinging. But this is getting scary here for Giantx. They really needed to find this first map for themselves. Again, this is an elimination match.
Yes. It's worrying, right?
Yeah,
it's worrying.
I mean, it's map 1, but
it's
still.
their map pick. It's the map that they looked okay on. It was a close game. We kind of went, okay,
right, normal first buy rounds. Wait, how many light armors are there? That's what we want to be checking. 2 light armors, so CNED, one shot potential.
Either a sideways or a direct upgrade, depending how you see Redgar, right? That's
Goes for the passive TP, so he can play around this area.
They're going to lose all comfort, and we're going to see what they look like on Icebox into the, unknown. And already, Crack's going to start things off. Fizz's gone down.
That's
rough.
That is outrageous.
I think Nuki has also had very passive Cypher setups over towards the A side, so it's not like they've had much space control from the Sentinel utility nonetheless. And FUT, they
Dog over towards B, and they clear some control, so they can be confident in the 2-2 stack.
Okay, continue forward. Nuki now knows. Trouble's coming. He does have help here, right? This was the combination.
They got 1 kill trip on site.
And Nuki, they were able to hold this side very well. But there's that.
Seeker's going for Mr. Fallon. 2 on site.
They get to handle it early on, but it does allow a couple of steps in, right? YellowJ gets
the great smoke from Redgar to allow them some space on site.
But the gap's starting to get closed. Can the duo do it again? Nuki with the first and the second. A third? Not just yet, but the spike's gone down.
Lovely. I mean, look at this smoke. He gets them 4 kills.
These two are digging their heels in. That was exceptional work from them. CNED, a 1v3, you're gonna roll back the years for us?
Lovely.
Not right now. Hoodie gonna extend the play here. 5 rounds for Giantx, and a stark reminder that those two really can lock that side down.
Absolutely. I mean, just being able to buy as much time as possible for the rotation from B to come in. Just so much disruption, the chaos that's caused, and FUT now, again, they still have that momentum from the first half. Giantx, great for them to steal that away, but can they carry it forward? Right now, again, you see that protocoling. Nobody home really towards mid here for FUT, aside from CNED, who will have that opportunity to likely TP out if he does throw that back in towards the sewer side. But off the contact, off the flash, the guiding light, expecting.
Cool.
Oh, he doesn't have the TP. Okay. Into the corner, but he could still get caught out if it's an aggressive push from Mail.
I just love this pinch. Cloud's going to try and set it up into motion. He's fortunate enough to not have been punished on this.
Does survive this one. Hill comes in, no armor on this. While this has been going on, over towards A, we have a wall up and we've taken some A heaven control. In the meantime, over towards B, there's been a sky flash over towards B main and it hit 1.
Wanted to smack our heads against the wall for a while was the fact that no one used to deal with that camera. If you looked at when Alpha was doing and other players, that it just allowed you freedom to not have to worry about rotations. Nice to see YellowJ dealing with that.
Raise duel in the middle in a second.
A little bit of worry in the back of Giantx's minds. They've lost
Cracks
a player
needs to
on one side,
wait
and now he's
for her.
back through here.
Yeah.
Forcing to respect this presence in heaven that they've noted from not only CNED, but we know where FUT are going. We can see where they're trying to aim towards, but Fatinho trying to hold back the flood towards heaven, and now it's just on Redgar again. Look how isolated he is.
Yeah, and he tries to get out of there, but it's just a little bit too late.
Just joined with CNED. That is where the difference of
this is interesting as well, and maybe Cloud goes by this TP, sorry, Cloud going by that trip there, and the rest of his team seeing it could be a good amount of info. Especially for the coaches as well, they can kind of note down, wait, like, is this guy using his trip aggro to get map control? That means that actually they're not placing it behind, and potentially we can push. So when people are asking, like, what a coach is typing down, like writing down as well, like that could be one of the things for sure.
FUT with no contention into the post plant, as expected, though.
Lovely shot.
At the
Jesus.
very least.
Still Cloud.
It's a nice pick. Charge up a little bit more into that Rolling Thunder.
Oh, man. It's hard to watch sometimes because Cloud is just such raw talent.
Yes.
Right? It's like you just see glimpses of it, be it, you know, maybe not throughout the entire game here, but the glimpses of what he can do certainly in play. But again, rolling back that round, taking that late mid control, keeping the attention there with, you know, the utility from CNED, the creep from J coming up. It forced the fact that basically you could not pull those two players away. Loved seeing
Timeout
that.
comes in.
Giantx,
So if you call in
that
this
was nothing
timeout,
of a
and the thing is,
problem.
the
That
problem
round
is,
was a
if you
red
want them to go
flag.
aggro, because they're
Pump
not
the
using
brakes.
trip for map
And I mean,
control as well,
scoreline's
but I
a
don't think they're going to be
problem,
talking about
that
this anyway.
round's a
But
problem.
if
So is their
they
economy.
want to do that,
having a
it'll be one of those ones
conversation
where you don't want to
because
do it next round because you made it so obvious that you want to do something different. So you would probably wait until the round after to actually play aggro. And then on this round,
that mid control, that
I'm trying to think of what's been
has
going
been a
on.
little bit of a
They've
struggle
been mixing it
there for
up good.
Giantx.
Maybe they
You'd
need to hold
expect
A
if you're playing
heaven.
so far
It's only a
deep
Viper crossing over towards A heaven.
you would
I don't know
have
how
maybe
much
a
money
little
they
bit
have,
more
but
of that
setting up
B-main
someone over
presence
towards A heaven on
uncontested.
defense, hold A with one
Hasn't really
person,
been a
heavy hold
threat
middle.
towards FUT when
Probably
they've
be
been
what I
looking
do.
for that mid control either. They know that they can clear back towards B very comfortably, and these retakes, I mean, FUT have been so good at dividing the team due to Yedaj's presence over towards that A site that they can't even play full as 5.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
How much
He's
money have
been
they got? Yeah, it's a
actually
shame.
A real surprise to watch, a real treat to watch. It certainly wasn't on my radar. Again, forgive me for not noting, you know, some of these up-and-coming players, but J has been class to witness.
So, yeah.
And going into this, we've got to keep our mind towards what are Giantx going to try and
Wait,
bring into this round. I mean,
they-
they've got to do something, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they're forcing.
it can't be nothing.
Here we go.
So what do they go for? Looking at the purchase coming in now. 10 more seconds until we're back live underway in the round.
Razor.
I'm seeing Guardians. I'm seeing some lack here and there, but they've been able to fashion a purchase. But is this the pace hit then? Is this the pace change? Do they dare walk back into what is the blender though on A?
They change up from FUT.
Again, poised already.
Wall
Cloud
used
playing
differently
towards
over
elbow
towards
with
A
that
to suggest a
great
normal A
line
here.
for the fault line, no matter
Dog
which
goes
way
in
he wants to
heaven,
go.
camera spots
Coutinho
3.
alone here towards A heaven
4.
though. Has a nade.
A little bit of support came out from Cloud there to stall this, so it has kind
Flash
of
goes around the corner.
taken
They
the
know they
wind
can
out of the
just
sails. So it's not a
chill in A
complete
heaven for a little bit.
pacey hit. It's allowed a little bit more freedom for Coutinho to calm down as well, get the support towards CT from Hoodie too.
It's a nice
But
one,
then
man.
again, this is all above a minute. They've done this in incredibly quick fashion, so they've shown all this presence towards heaven. They've drawn a little bit of kit out from the Giantx side, and they're going to pause. They're going to see if they can maybe catch any of this overextension. You could already see them checking through middle. Can they catch Redguard potentially, or anyone who got curious? But that internal clock. Good work from Redguard to note there is problems
Flash hits
coming
3
my way.
again.
He's already called in for support. Hoodie could be the linchpin here.
But FUT, they look to pivot back over
Yeah,
towards
and they
double
tried to bait
Yeah,
that
they're
they were going back
through.
towards
I mean,
B.
maybe they feel
And
they've
maybe
built
this
enough
might
up,
be a
maybe they
double
hope so.
fake, to be honest, but that kill
Surgical
might change.
shot from CNED. Coutinho
Okay,
falls,
yeah, it is a
and
double
then back and
fake.
forth. The seesaw,
Good luck
every
to
single time they get a
Redguard.
pick, and now you know it. The Redguard's on a platter, on a plate, so vulnerable, and J, just the timing, God, this guy got
Yeah,
it.
and they
We
leave the
talk
luck
about
in
bad timing,
B
bad
heaven.
luck
This was a
throughout the
lovely
lead
round.
into this matchup. That's a man who's absolutely got it down to a T, and now Nookie and Cloud left a million miles
They got
away.
they got
What are you
heavily
meant to do here, Cloud?
heavily played in
Looks
this
like
round.
fated to fall. I mean, he's tried.
There's another gun there if you want to give it another go.
But at the end of the day, Cloud, you shoot the body, but you're going to be against 12 rounds, so it doesn't really matter, does it,
All right,
mate?
7 chances.
12 to 5. Ash, this one's looking done.
I mean, nothing in the tank here for Giantx as far as that money goes. It's going to have to be that light shield buy, but not everyone can afford the proper full loadout. Very least saving grace, we're going to look for that combination with the Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper. But it has to be a clean round for Giantx. They need to take as much as they can if they want to try and carry this forward. But right now, FUT, the reads have been so good. The calling from Mr. Fallen. And again, the way that they're just able to continuously isolate 1 to 2 players on those crunches.
And
left
flash
Giantx with
over
little to answer
towards
A little bit
Evan
of a different setup,
and
though. They're
Skies.
playing ahead of the
They're not on
utilities.
radar
That's
for
why I
them.
like this is a really good call coming out from Giantx, because they were kind of was working behind the curtain, right?
A
When
nice
that
cam,
ball
if
goes
not.
up, they didn't know what was happening. So
Dude,
they have to
I
fight
was gonna
with
say,
it,
that
which
has
is
to be on
dangerous,
radar.
But you got to back yourself, and this time they're winning it
That
out.
was lovely.
Cloud,
Lovely
denies
holdover
cracks
towards
any
A heaven
control
on this
towards
one.
ramp. This will somewhat dissuade the plans of FUT, right? They don't have that free access to pressure towards A. They can't pull those rotations freely to tee up J. It changes the dynamic now.
Then with a very deep A main trip here for Giantx, they feel comfortable falling back towards screens, play the numbers advantage, knowing that no information is to be had here towards mid here for Giantx. There's also that Vents trip to have to worry about here, so could be revealed if YetchJ does drop in and decide to shoot that one out. It will be uncontested for now, just seeing if they can find any information.
No subtlety to it, but they're trying to bait out so you can get a pick on the other side, right? It's like, will Hoodie actually push or no? Okay, he's still going to use his utility. It's just testing, right? And so far, Giantx
3 people here for Giants.
They're not overstepping. They're not being caught out. This could be the first problem of it. Patino's waiting. Does that a captain walk it? He does. Timing's right. Good work for Patino. He's
boy.
Just let it go. He's going for this
Damn,
one, chasing it down. Gorgeous.
They really want to secure the round.
But Cloud is there.
This is a big win for FUT.
Support system. And all
Double ult out of them.
Jay, what can this man do in a 1v4? 10 seconds. Probably not much.
No, I mean, Giantx, they're not going to be able to give that to them. You got maybe 2 seconds to work with, but all they have to do is... Yeah, I mean, this is something
they get 3,000, so
have the weapons
3 of them on 3,000, 1.
Into the next round.
Well, I guess 1 on 350.
Spectre and a Bulldog.
And they got 2 ults out of them, which they used in a 3v5 as well.
Make that adjustment that you mentioned.
I think when you're this far down, you got to take a few risks with saving your ults there, but I get that they're trying to keep it clean so they have money.
Just be too little, too late.
It strikes the fear of God in me, because you look at them having to try and juggle how they're going to play the utility out. I mean, I don't think Patino's going to be able to afford a great deal. You're lacking a lot of areas. And FUT have now just done something completely different, right? Like a whole new wall's come out. They don't know what's going on. Viper's bit's going to be there. They've got the Seekers if they want it. Redgar, no subtlety to where he's going to be, right? This is all
same thing.
Scary. Now, do they
Ult goes in, and then we just have the trip. Okay, trip gets shot. Trip gets shot or potential nade hit it, I imagine. Yeah, I like this. Leak out smoke. The idea was the trip goes into the ult, and then they can spam when someone comes close. A lot of people here. Not seen the guy top left. Still not seen the guy top left. You to Giantx though. That's it. That has to be it.
This is already going so well for them. They've got to try and make something work here. Nuki is still on the A side. He's so far away.
We've got no utility on the side of Giantx either for this retake.
Atu goes to bottom and mid, and they have no idea where he was.
And a captain could just find
so okay, well they know now.
Well for Nuki here,
I mean, this is on. You're gonna know Viper's in there, and you're probably gonna think back aside. Viper still has wall if they get close.
Front sight space either into the retake due to the pit.
Man, it is nice. It leaks out so much here.
It's Mr. Fallen, fine Patino. It's down to just Hoodie, and
that was cool. Yeah, really, really good. They played the chamber well, and the fact that so I don't think some of this would work as well second time round in terms of the weakness of the fact that they're using the trip aggro would be too obvious after a demo watch. But yeah, they played the chamber well, and they just got so much extra info with the trip.
Very consistently, but FUT